The following is a college course based on the textbooks Marketing and Marketing the Core, written by Karen Berkowitz Hartley and Rodelius, and published by McGraw-Hill Irwin Publishers. Recognize these goods and services? If you don't, the companies that provide them will surely be disappointed. That's because their marketing departments spend a lot of time and money on building recognition for their brands. Brand recognition is important whether a company is selling goods or services. The marketing strategies may differ, but the goal is the same: to make the product noticed and preferred over the competition. The company Quiksilver has found its niche in sportswear through a combination of quality products and effective brand management.
Quiksilver started in 1970 in Australia. It was founded by a couple Australian surfers and skiers, and they were looking for a way to create a lifestyle and create a living out of the sports that they love. There was obviously swimwear in the market way before that. Obviously, surfing's a few thousand years old. So there was all kinds of products for the surf market, beach lifestyle, but nothing that was built technically as a piece of equipment until the board short came out. So the concept in 1970 was to create this product that was kind of indestructible, wouldn't fall apart, wouldn't rip, snap wouldn't blow out, grommets wouldn't blow out. So the term board short was created.
It was about making a product that the athlete that was wearing it was going to be comfortable in. It was going to last them through that whole summer and years to come, and it wasn't going to fall apart.
The company founders, Alan Green and John Law, knew they had a good product. They wore the shorts every day as they paddled out to the waves. Other surfers noticed the shorts' distinctive design and wanted a pair. These board shorts, with the Quiksilver logo stitched on the leg, weren't the standard surfing gear. Thus began the branding process of the Quiksilver name. Branding is when a company uses a name, design, or symbol to identify its products and distinguish them from the competition.
Quiksilver growing up in the 70s was, we'd seen previous to that a real boom in surfing in the 60s with the whole Gidget phenomenon. But the 70s was kind of a quiet time for the whole surf industry in general. So Quiksilver started, again, very small, very grassroots, developed this grassroots network around the industry, but it wasn't really, surfing at that time was not a mainstream phenomenon.
This careful networking within the surfing industry was the beginning of the board shorts product life cycle. Every product has a life cycle, stages the product goes through in the marketplace: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Each stage requires different management strategies to reach consumers. In the introductory stage of the board short, the product's exposure by top surfers started the first wave of success.
When Quiksilver started in Australia in the 70s, they were very, very calculated, looking back, on who they gave shorts to, and created kind of this network of athletes, these surfers that would travel the world. These athletes then would end up with exposure in the surf magazines, and therefore with the readership of all the surf magazines, the product was exposed, and then therefore demand was created for the product, because these great shorts that no one had seen before were being worn by these great athletes in beautiful waves, and all of a sudden this demand was created. Everyone wanted to be like that surfer.
The next step for Quiksilver was to find a place to sell the shorts.
Well, when Quiksilver, the brand, started, its primary and really only distribution was through a very, very small network of surf shops. In the 70s, surf shops really just carried surfboards and wax, and maybe some wetsuits. They really didn't carry clothing. And we helped nurture the development of our brand and distribution together with these independently owned surf shops.
In the 1980s, Quiksilver grew rapidly as it gained prominence in the growing teen market. During this time, the board short entered the growth stage.
And the first big boom that happened was in the mid to late 80s. At the same time this trend took off, it was neon. And if anyone's around the 80s, you remember what a phenomenon that was in the late 80s. So it captured this amazing lifestyle at the beach that kind of blew up to huge proportions. The media drove it, TV drove it, Baywatch was kind of coming around at that time. So that was a huge boom for the Quiksilver brand, for the whole surf lifestyle category, all the other brands in the category.
Quiksilver was just the coolest company out there. I was a surfer. I was, 6 years old, and I was growing up. And Quiksilver came in, and they were just cooler than everybody right off the bat. I mean, they had all these great, patterns and logos. And so as soon as I got my first pair of Quiksilver shorts, I felt cool.
During this growth stage of the product life cycle, sales and profits generally increase. As a result, competitors often enter the marketplace as the product's popularity grows.
It's really challenging when you have so much competition now behind you that either wants to knock off your image or you see them doing something creative with the same kind of an idea that, gosh, we were going to be doing that next ad campaign, but now you got to think of something new. It's always changing, and you always want to be, responding to that.
Quiksilver has been really cool about incorporating all of their athletes and their ideas into the company. I mean, it's really important to listen to the 15-year-old kid that doesn't like something, because there's a reason why he doesn't like it, because he doesn't think it's cool.
Quiksilver and Roxy have done a really good job of bringing their athletes involved in the product. We actually just did something we call Pro Staff, where we bring all the kids together, all the athletes together, and we train them. We get up and rerun, and we surf, and we train in the morning, and then we bring them in with all the designers, and basically these 20 kids rip apart the designers, what they like, what they don't like, what they want different. The designers really need that information to make a product that is, right for the market, and that they know is going to sell best because of the fit, not just because it has a logo, but that it's, the best product in the market.
Cool designs meant more sales. Quiksilver needed to gain as much distribution for the product as possible. While the board shorts were still available in surf shops, the company broadened its distribution to specialty chains and sporting goods stores. In 1992, Quiksilver opened its own retail store.
Our distribution strategy is really threefold. It's our own retail stores called Boardriders Club, specialty chain and department stores is one, and then the independent specialty stores like a surf shop is still, again, a real foundation and a real important part of our makeup of distribution.
Quiksilver, the company, is growing, but the Quiksilver board short, the original product, is now in its maturity stage. In this stage, sales and profits may level off, perhaps because fewer new buyers are entering the market, or because there is fierce price competition among many sellers.
We strive to create a product that's not going to fall apart, that has a reputation of being well built, that snaps don't fall off, seams don't come apart. So we do deal with a lot of competitors, a lot of other brands that might copy the trends in the market, offer them at lower price points. So it's an issue we deal with quite often is price competition, but our goal is to always kind of persevere and take the high road when it comes to the quality, because we really believe that integrity is more long-lasting. It has much more depth with customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, and long-term, it's a better strategy than a short-term price fix to solve a growth issue that's short-term.
The quality itself, I've had customers call me or even come in passing, they go, God, I have this board shorts 5-6 years, it's still functional, hasn't, unlike other brands, they fall apart.
Quiksilver stays very visible in the surfing market and has continued to use different promotional strategies to keep its board shorts in the limelight. It sponsors athletes, holds competitions, and offers surf camps.
Over the last couple of years, we've really started to implement the surf camp program. It really started on the East Coast with our East Coast marketing manager. He just saw this need to get kids in the water so that they understand the sport of surfing. You want to get them out in the water so that they get that feeling of what you're trying to explain. And no TV show or movie can ever explain the feeling until you get them in the water and you get them up on the first wave.
It's been great. The kids come down. They all generally are able to learn within one day. They get to their feet. They have fun. And at the end of the day, everyone leaves with a smile, and the parents are really excited. We're trying to bring more awareness to surfing because, one, it's a great sport. We think that, The bigger that it gets as well, so does Quicksilver.
And it really helps not only our retailers because, these kids are getting in the water, then they want to buy boards and wetsuits, and it's a great marketing tool, but it's so much a part of our roots that it's just giving the kids a vehicle to get in the water, and they're taught by professional surfers who have the knowledge, have the experience, and they can inspire these kids to continue with the sport.
It's those new buyers that help keep products strong during the maturity stage. Marketing attention in this stage is often directed toward maintaining market share through targeting new consumers and further product differentiation.
As products enter the maturity stage, there are a couple things we do to make sure that they continue to be viable elements within the line. One is to target new consumers, and that's both within our existing user base, which is, encouraging, we'll use board shorts as the perfect example, encouraging someone who's traditionally bought board shorts to buy another pair. Maybe that's through an amazing design or a completely new fit or element within the board short. The other way is to target an entirely new market. For example, going to underdeveloped markets from a surf apparel standpoint. Maybe it's to landlocked areas where people don't surf or women don't surf, yet they want to emulate the lifestyle, and there's an opportunity to sell our product to them so that they have the opportunity during the right season to do that.
And Quicksilver did recognize a huge group of new buyers for board shorts: women.
Roxy, the brand, was created in the early 90s as a way to diversify products within the Quicksilver range. Looking back, it's pretty obvious that a board short company should make a board short for a woman, but it really was not that obvious until we kind of stumbled across it. And it's interesting how we stumbled across it. We were actually doing a contest in Hawaii on the men's side of things, and we started seeing a lot of girls wearing men's board shorts, and we heard at retail girls were buying men's board shorts. So it was, the light bulb went off. It's like, well, if girls are buying men's board shorts, shouldn't we make a board short for a woman?
And what helped make those board shorts so popular, one is they fit really well, and two, we had a woman athlete by the name of Lisa Anderson, who's 4-time world champion professional surfer, and she was a sponsored rider by Quicksilver, and she wore the board shorts and won a couple contests in them, and it just kind of started that momentum of, hey, these are kind of cool, there's a woman surfer wearing them, they fit really well, they're kind of cute.
The Roxy line has grown rapidly over the last few years. Within that brand, the board short has remained a steady seller.
What created Roxy in the early 90s was this idea of a board short for women. Tremendous trend, that's all we sold. It just was this trend that we chase and chase and chase. Well, that flattened off in the late 90s and into currently. We still offer board shorts, but it's by no means a driving category in our brand. We still have to have relevant board shorts, they still have to be current, but we've allowed that to be a little bit flat with growth, and that's fine and acceptable.
The last stage of a product's life cycle is the decline stage. This is when sales and profits continue to drop. The fashion industry is a bit different from other product categories because clothing trends are often cyclical. A fashion trend may start to decline and then return.
The fashion world moves pretty quickly. Board short is the foundation of our company. It was founded, but yet there's been periods of history where the volume's very, very low, where board shorts are on a trend. There's also times where board shorts are a huge trend. We're chasing, we can't get enough and make enough. So they go through their cycles that we just have to watch.
Frequently, a product enters the decline stage not because of any wrong strategy on the part of the company, but because of changes in the marketing environment. For example, technological innovation often precedes a product's decline. That's why we now listen to music in digital formats, and record albums are collector's items. And certainly not all fashion items decline and come back.
When one of our brands has what we would call a soft product category, let's say it's struggling and has some issues, the warning signs go off, we're hearing it's not selling. The biggest thing for us is when a product doesn't sell at retail. We know about it right away. So we've got to somehow reinvent that category and proven that we've upgraded it, adjusted it, become more relevant, and increase the awareness for it. Or sometimes we choose to let a product category die, and that's a very calculated move.
But that's not the fate of the board short. It is still an important part of Quicksilver's identity.
We still want to stay true to board shorts, have the best built board shorts, the best relevant board shorts, but have not relied on board shorts to be the driving force behind the brand. It would just be unrealistic for it to do that.
In 1970, the product, those new board shorts, got the attention. Quicksilver was simply a company name. But as the popularity of the product grew, so did the popularity of the Quicksilver brand. Quicksilver has grown into a global company that manages multiple brands of sportswear and accessories.
You know, the company was founded as a surf lifestyle brand and still is. And up until the early 80s and late 80s, we really made just two products, board shorts and t-shirts. We really realized we had to take the pressure off of the men's brand and specifically just the two product categories and really expand and open up our horizons. Within the Quicksilver family of lines, we've got about 14 brands.
In deciding to brand a product, companies have several possible strategies. One choice is multi-product branding, when a company uses one name for all its products. In Quicksilver's early days, that was the strategy for the board shorts and t-shirts. Everything was branded Quicksilver. But when the company began to expand, it chose a multi-branding approach, giving each of its products a distinct name.
Now, we also have a number of other brands within the Quicksilver corporate family. We have a company called Raisins. Raisins is a swimwear company that has multiple brands even within its company. One is called Leilani, another one's called Radio Fiji. So those are, again, kind of subcategories and sub-markets that the Raisin company focuses in on. We also have a skateboard line called Hawk. It's obviously from the athlete Tony Hawk. We have the right to use his name in apparel, so we have a skateboard line of apparel that's based around Tony Hawk and his input and his direction as an athlete. We also have a golf line called Fidra that was founded by John Ashworth. And we have a number of smaller brands that the company has as well.
Multi-branding is a useful strategy when each brand is intended for a different market segment. Roxy is a perfect example.
They could have called it Quicksilver Girls or Quicksilver, something that related to the women's market, but the desire was to really create a second brand, really create a freestanding brand for women.
Quicksilver is all about hardcore surf. It's very much the foundation of the surfing lifestyle. Roxy is somewhat different. We don't carry the mantle of responsibility of the company name. We are not as hardcore fundamental surf. Obviously, we're about women's surfing, we're about women's board riding sports. We're also about having fun and about girls doing things they love to do together outside that make them healthy and happy and have some fun. So there's a little bit more lightheartedness associated with Roxy.
A good brand name and logo can help sell a product, and consumers may benefit as well. Recognizing competing products by a distinct brand name allows consumers to be more efficient shoppers. And Quicksilver, like all companies, wants buyers to zero in on its distinctive logo when making a clothing purchase.
The Quicksilver logo is a mountain and wave. Since the company was founded in the mountains as part of a skiing kind of lifestyle and also at the beach as part of a surf lifestyle, the original founders wanted to incorporate that into the logo. That's what would set the shirt I'm wearing apart from any other brand. Is this shirt, 10 people could have the same shirt, but that there's a Quicksilver mountain wave on it sets it apart and creates a separate identity with this garment because there's a Quicksilver name on it.
The brand name and logo are important for all of Quicksilver's brands, including Roxy.
The team of Quicksilver executives were sitting around, what do we name this thing? So they created a whole list of names. And Roxy was the one that surfaced to the top, but it also happens to be the name of our CEO's daughter. So I think that kind of helped make it feel warm and fuzzy and kind of appropriate. I think the name graphically looks really strong. When you get O and an X next together, it looks really good. It sounds really good. So if you've got a name, you also want a logo then. And again, the Quicksilver logo is a mountain and wave. So the dilemma is, how do you create a logo that somehow connects to that but has its unique identity? And the logo that was created for the Roxy brand is an actual mirror image of the mountain wave. So if you were to take the mountain wave, turn it a little bit on a corner, and then do a mirror image, you get this heart shape created.
Quicksilver's marketing department has worked hard to convey a certain brand personality with its name. Successful brands suggest certain personality traits.
You know, the personality from a marketing standpoint that we try to perpetuate through Roxy and Quicksilver is this uplifting spirit. We tend to use, let's say, brighter colors, and we tend to always show our athletes and show our product in fun environments, be it the beach, be it the mountain, be it, you know, blue skies, because the whole surfing lifestyle and beach lifestyle is so attractive, and, you know, who wouldn't want to kind of escape and go on vacation, go to the beach?
It's all pretty comfortable, relaxed, easy type of clothing where you go around a bonfire and just relax and chill with your friends. So that kind of deal.
Marketers can strengthen the brand personality through advertising that conveys the feelings they want associated with the brand.
You know, we base our photo shoots off of the girls going on surf trips, the guys going on snowboard trips, and vice versa. And the images that come from that are, you know, healthy athletes that take care of themselves, that compete in events, they're very serious about their sports, but that it's also an obtainable lifestyle for people across the board.
Our athletes really influence our buyers, I think, in the way that, you know, again, the consumer wants to identify. It's just like in mainstream sports. You want to be Michael Jordan. You want to be Kelly Slater. You want to be Tony Hawk. And in return, you're going to want to wear or do what they're doing. And, you know, aside from it being an amazing product, which Quicksilver is, advertising with these guys wearing the product, you know, I think has a strong influence on consumers.
Sponsoring athletes has increased Quicksilver's brand equity, which is the added value a brand name gives to a product beyond its functional benefits. You can buy a t-shirt because you need clothes, or you can buy a particular brand of t-shirt because it gives you that extra flair. Since brand equity provides a financial advantage to the owner, it's carefully nurtured by marketers.
What sets us apart from generic product or mainstream product is the word Quicksilver or the word Roxy. And we invest a lot of time, money, and effort to make those brands valuable. So we want them to be on the garment because that's the cachet.
Within our industry, we have, you know, the cool vibe. And I think that everybody in the world could find something at Quicksilver and like it. And we make all the great stuff to have fun.
It's more this kind of casual, easygoing West Coast style of living that's relaxed, that's happy, that's uplifting. So I think if a consumer buys a piece of Quicksilver clothing, that they somehow want to be attached to that identity.
We have a lot of customers that know Quicksilver, know the whole culture of Quicksilver and the surfing culture and board riding culture, period. We also have the customers that come from the Midwest who have nothing to do with surfing, but they like the brand because they see it splashed on the TV and whatnot. So we do have our percentage of hardcore board riders, and then also the people who aren't involved in board riding, but they love the product anyway.
A tangible way a company can enhance brand recognition and favorable associations is through packaging and labeling. The packaging of a product refers to any container in which the item is offered for sale. A label is an integral part of the package and typically identifies the product, where it was made, directions on how to use it, lists disclaimers, and other important information.
Well, because we're a fashion brand and a clothing company, the primary way to package our product is to put a logo somewhere on the garment, a name and a logo somewhere on the garment.
When you think of packaging from a marketing perspective, there's the packaged goods packaging, think Dove bar soap in the box. And then there's packaging the brand from a total experience standpoint, which is kind of more the Roxy way. The primary packaging that we have is a hang tag. And we very seriously look at what visuals and what fonts and what colors and what message do we want to communicate on that hang tag, because that's the first little indication of what the Roxy brand is all about.
Whether marketing a good or a service, companies often rely on effective brand management to succeed in the marketplace. There are, of course, differences between marketing surfboards and marketing the services of a surfboard repair shop. The service company often focuses on why it provides a better customer experience than its competition. A hotel touts its luxurious rooms. An independent grocery store highlights its personal touch. A surfboard repair shop promotes its 30 years of quality service. But whether a company provides a good or a service, many of the marketing concepts are similar. Both goods and services rely on brand recognition as a key ingredient for success.
We've got boys' products, we've got girls' products, we've got accessories, we've got denim, we've got fall line, we've got jackets, we've got snowboard line, we've got a skateboard-related products. So the industry and also our company is much broader in its base. Our distribution is much broader. So will this trend end, and will we see another dip and another climb in our lifetime? Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of a nature of business cycle. It's the nature of our industry. It's the nature of fashion trends. So we'll continue to see this wave, and it's how you kind of persevere through those times and also how you take advantage of the growth times that I think make a great company.
I think they've tried to continue to be that leader, whether it's in advertising or videos or picking up the newest team rider that's hot right now on the market. We really do a lot of hands-on with our retailers. We want to know what they know because they're in touch with our customer, and we want to provide what they think our customers need.
I suppose every marketer would say this about their brand, but there's a team of people who are incredibly passionate about making sure that Roxy, at every element, every contact point, every time a consumer sees something that says Roxy, that it's absolutely the best it could be, and that it continuously reinforces what our brand strategy is and what our mission is to our consumers. And for anyone working on any brand, it's that combination of the team, the passion, and the understanding of what it takes that makes that brand specifically important and different, that makes a brand successful.